we're not concerned about anyone else right now. It's Alex Eala time. This is Alex Eala's moment. Our days, our dinners, our evenings are fixated on when she's playing. That's real tennis fandom right there. Love it.
This is so great for tennis in general. I think having players like Alex out there, and she's so gracious to all her fans. She spends time with her fans, signs the autographs, takes the photos, and really just shows the Filipino community that it is all about the Philippines. And I still carry that flag with me no matter where I go across the world. And such a young woman at that has that wisdom of just what it means to play for her country.
Only 20 years old, such maturity, already a hero to her entire nation. I mean, it's basically Manny Pacquiao and Alex Eala, right? I mean,
that's it. That's it.
That's who they're looking up to right now.
Alex Eala just reached a milestone that no Filipino tennis player has ever touched before. The ranking update arrived at the absolute perfect time. She battled through a grueling match that almost ended her run at Indian Wells. She clawed her way to victory regardless, and woke up the next morning with the highest ranking of her entire professional career. The global tennis community is now paying very close attention to her rise. How high do you think her ranking can climb by the end of 2026? Do you see her in the top 20, the top 10, or perhaps even higher? Share your bold predictions in the comments right now. Let us state the facts clearly. Alex Eala has officially climbed to number 28 in the world according to the live rankings. That is a new career high for her. That is a specific number that no other Filipino tennis player has ever achieved in history. She reached this peak by winning a match in Indian Wells, California, that she had no business winning based on how the points played out. She then walked into the press conference looking completely calm. Her opponent, Yastremska, left herself wide open when she tried to move forward.
Yastremska left herself exposed when she came forwards. It's a golden opportunity missed, believe it, after working so hard to get the break. She's been broken right back. Oh. Couldn't have placed it better. The noise is deafening inside Stadium 3. One of the best. But there's just too many errors in her game. Too many double faults. 8 in this set alone. 15 for the match. And it hands Alex Eala a 4th match point. It's in these kinds of atmospheres, and she's done it again. 7-5, 4-6, 7-5. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. And if not the match of the tournament so far, it's certainly a big contender. And it's going to be hard to beat. I think the support in the end got her over the line. But you've got to feel for Dayana Yastremska. She had chances.
The win over Dayana Yastremska with a score of 7-5, 4-6, 7-5 was far from a clean or comfortable victory where Eala dominated from the start. It was a total dogfight that spanned 3 grueling sets. This was not some clean or comfortable victory where Eala dominated from the start and everyone got to go home early. The match was defined by wild moments. That was exactly when Eala did what she does best. She discovered an extra gear when it seemed like there was absolutely nothing left in the tank. She showcased some of the most courageous tennis of her life and flipped the script entirely. That massive win propelled her from her official ranking of 32 up to number 28 on the live leaderboard. Before the tennis world could even process the magnitude of that victory, she was already looking toward her next challenge. She is now officially scheduled to go head-to-head with Coco Gauff in the round of 32. Yes, she is facing the world number 4, Coco Gauff, right here on American soil at Indian Wells. This high-stakes rematch comes less than a month after Gauff defeated her 6-0, 6-2 in Dubai. You have to admit that the universe has a very ironic sense of humor when it comes to the timing of Alex Eala's career milestones. However, we should not gloss over this ranking achievement because it deserves its own spotlight before we start looking at what comes next. Holding the number 28 spot in the world of women's professional tennis on the WTA Tour is a staggering accomplishment. This is a sport played on a global scale that has produced icons from dozens of different nations. It is widely considered one of the deepest and most competitive professional circuits in all of sports. To be sitting at number 28 in that field at just 20 years old is a phenomenal feat for a Filipino player. This is quite simply a historic landmark for the sport of tennis. The fans who have been following Eala since her days in the juniors have been waiting for this kind of breakthrough. Ever since she was capturing junior Grand Slam titles and turning heads in the developmental circuits, people have been waiting for this trajectory to hit the senior level. Now, that potential has become an undeniable reality in the official rankings, backed by high-stakes wins against elite professionals on the biggest stages in the world. The proof is right there on the scoreboard, and it is no longer up for debate. The manner in which she reached this point tells a far more compelling story than the ranking alone. Eala did not build this ranking by taking down easy opponents in low-level tournaments. She has been competing on the major stages against athletes who have the talent to beat anyone on any given day. She is consistently finding ways to win, even when the situation looks dire. That is the defining theme of her 2026 season so far. She is going toe-to-toe at the WTA level against seasoned, ranked professionals. She is reaching the deep rounds of tournaments that put her directly in the path of the biggest icons in the sport. She is generating the kind of massive crowd support that catches the eye of tournament directors because her fans travel from city to city and fill stadiums with electric energy. What is most impressive is that she is achieving all of this while she is still very much a work in progress. She is still fine-tuning her game, learning the nuances of the professional circuit, and discovering how to handle the physical and mental toll of a full season. Her raw talent was never in doubt. That has been glaringly obvious since she was a teenager. The real question was always about her consistency and whether she could translate her junior dominance to the senior tour week after week. She is now facing opponents who are physically more powerful and possess years of elite experience. These women are playing for their livelihoods, and every single point is a battle for survival. That question is being answered in real time, and the answer is looking like a resounding yes. Now, let us dive into what being number 28 actually signifies within the broader context of the WTA Tour. The top 32 players in the world receive automatic entry into the main draws of Grand Slam tournaments. At number 28, Eala is comfortably within that elite bracket. This means no more grinding through qualifying rounds or fighting through a preliminary bracket just to reach the main event. She now walks directly into the draw at the most prestigious tournaments in the sport. That is a massive advantage both logistically and mentally. Players who have to qualify have already played multiple intense matches before the main draw even begins. Players with direct entry can conserve their energy and focus entirely on their first-round opponent. They can arrive at the tournament site without the heavy accumulated stress of a qualification run. At number 28, Eala has earned the right to prepare exactly like the top players in the world. This is not a minor detail. It completely changes how you schedule your entire season and how you manage your physical health. It alters your approach to every single event, knowing you have a guaranteed seat at the table. And if she continues this deep run at Indian Wells, surpassing Gauff and stacking wins, that number will climb even higher. The live rankings update in real time based on every single point earned, which means every victory adds to her growing total. A deep run to the quarterfinals or semifinals at a massive 1,000 level event like Indian Wells would generate a huge points haul. That could potentially push her into the top 20 for the first time in her career. Top 20 in the entire world. We need to let that sentence sink in for a moment. Just 2 years ago, the big question was whether Eala could even break into the top 100 on the senior tour. Only 1 year ago, the entire conversation was focused on whether she could reach the top 50 and maintain that position. Now, a top 20 ranking is a realistic and achievable goal based on the math, and it could happen during this very tournament. Her upward trajectory is almost unbelievable when you lay it out flat. And yet, Here we are witnessing it. Let us address the big challenge ahead, which is the fact that Eala's reward for her victory over Yastremska is a match against the player who beat her most recently. Facing Coco Gauff at Indian Wells is the ultimate litmus test for everything a player has built. Gauff is not simply the number 4 player in the world. She is playing on home turf in California, where the stadium crowd will be almost entirely on her side. That crowd factor creates an environment that is notoriously difficult to navigate when you are the visiting player. The momentum of a full stadium willing every point toward your opponent is a powerful force that changes the very feel of a match. Eala acknowledged all of these factors during her press conference following the win over Yastremska. She stated plainly that the upcoming match is going to be incredibly tough. She said she expects a massive crowd to show up for Gauff. She noted that she will have to dig even deeper than she did today to stand a chance. Then she added that she is excited and ready, which is either the ultimate show of confidence or a very polished answer that hides her mental intensity. In all likelihood, it is a combination of both. That Dubai result of 6-0, 6-2 is the specific score that critics keep bringing up when they want to slow down the Eala hype train. To be fair, they have a point. That score represents a version of Coco Gauff that was playing at a level where Eala simply had no answers. The power, the consistency, and the relentless pace were simply too much for her on that particular day. There is no way to sugarcoat a 6-0, 6-2 defeat. It was a dominant performance from Gauff and a harsh lesson for Eala. However, here is the crucial detail that the critics often choose to ignore. Eala played that specific match at a much lower ranking during an earlier phase of her 2026 season. The athlete walking onto the court at Indian Wells is not the same person who walked off the court in Dubai. She has gained invaluable match experience since then. She has built a mountain of confidence from surviving high-pressure situations. She now possesses the specific knowledge of how Gauff plays and what tactical adjustments she needs to make. Whether those adjustments will be enough to flip the result remains to be seen, but the variables going into this match are completely different. It is also worth noting that Eala and Gauff have a history that extends beyond their individual singles matches. They actually competed as doubles partners at one point in their careers. That means Eala has seen Gauff's game up close in a collaborative environment and knows how she reads the court. While that familiarity does not guarantee a singles victory, it is certainly not a negligible factor. Understanding your opponent on a personal level provides insights that you simply cannot get from watching game film alone. The bigger picture for Eala in 2026 is exactly what the Philippine sports community has been waiting for with bated breath. Tennis is a global sport with a very rigid and established hierarchy. Breaking into the elite tier as a player from the Philippines is an incredibly difficult feat to accomplish. She lacks the massive infrastructure, the coaching pipelines, and the historical success enjoyed by other nations. The resources poured into developing a top 30 player in countries like the United States or Russia are astronomical. The specialized academies and early talent identification systems create a massive advantage for those athletes. Those systems produce players who arrive on the senior tour already battle-tested and exceptionally well-resourced. Eala reached this level through pure talent, an incredible work ethic, and a mental toughness that has been evident for years. She carries the weight of an entire nation's expectations every time she steps onto a professional court. Her loyal fan base travels across the world to flood social media and stadiums with energy after every single match. Being ranked number 28 in the world is far more than just a statistic on a website. It is a definitive statement about what is possible for a dedicated athlete. It proves that her junior success was a sign of things to come. To the skeptics, who wondered if she could actually make the transition to the professional level, the answer is clear. They questioned if her junior resume would translate, or if she could consistently compete with the world's best. Those same critics are watching the ranking updates with surprise right now. Every match she plays adds another chapter to her story. She is here, she is rising, and she is far from finished. The Indian Wells tournament is still ongoing, and the massive showdown with Gauff is looming on the horizon. The stadium will be loud, the opponent will be world-class, and the stakes could not be any higher. But a player who saves a match point in the third set and then tells the media she is excited for the next challenge has a rare quality. That kind of grit is something that official rankings can never fully quantify. Number 28 is where she stands today, but the true limit of her potential remains unknown. Right now, no one can accurately predict where her ceiling actually lies. If you have been following this journey from the very beginning, this uncertainty is exactly what you were hoping for. That is the complete story of Alex Eala climbing to 28 in the world and what it means for her future. If this journey has you hyped for Indian Wells, hit that like button and leave your ranking prediction below.